A lot of stylists pick their first shear based on how they look, and that's probably one of the worst places you can start with. Hi, my name is Devin from Moshiko Shears, and if you don't know what Moshiko Shears actually is, we offer high quality Japanese steel shears and thinning shears, which is the best quality you can ever find for under $300. And in today's video, we're going to be going over how to pick your first shear as a stylist. As I said earlier, picking your first shear is more than just how pretty it looks. There's other aspects of a shear that matters significantly. And we're going to be going over the main points today. So point number one is the actual size of the shear itself. Just a quick FYI, shears comes in the sizes of 5.5, 6, 6.5, and 7. You could possibly find one at a size of 5 inches even, but typically the main sizes are going to be between 5.5 and 7. Typically your shear size should match your hand size. For an example, this one right here is the sculpted handles with bling in a 5.5 from Moshiko Shears. And as you can see, it's a little bit too small for my hands personally. And if you have bigger hands, you might prefer something like the Midtown, which comes in a 7 or 7 inches. Now, I should also say, just because your hand size is smaller doesn't mean you're limited to only using a smaller shear like a 5.5. Some people might prefer using a bigger shear even if their hands are smaller. If you're dealing with a lot of thick, heavy hair and you just want to take off a lot of hair at once, you would use something like this, which has a naturally bigger blade, so you can cut off more with each snip. But again, that really depends on you and your own preference and what you're really looking for, and mainly what's more comfortable in your own hands. Next, we have handle styles, which is also really important. Typically, when you see any shear of today, they're going to be slightly offset. So where your thumb goes is going to be slightly lower than the other one. Now, because the thumb sits a little bit lower, it allows your elbow to drop down a little bit more, which naturally reduces the fatigue of your shoulder. So if you're cutting all day behind a chair, something very small like this can help out a lot just to keep you going more every single day. There's also the classic style where both rings are evenly matched up, but you don't really see that much today. And then there's also something called a swivel shear, which gives you maximum range of motion with your thumb. It's a steeper learning curve, but again, it does give you maximum motion. And it really allows your thumb to move more naturally as you're cutting. Next up, we have still quality. Now, this is also extremely important. If you're using the cheap ones you found off of Amazon for $30, or you're using your cosmetology shears, that is not high quality. Now you might be wondering, okay, so what's the point of using high quality versus low quality? Entry-level shears or really cheap ones essentially use a cheaper steel, which means the blade doesn't last as long and doesn't really hold an edge. So they require more frequent sharpening, which could affect your consistency in giving quality cuts. And then you have high quality Japanese steel like we offer here at Moshiko Shears. Now, high quality Japanese steel holds its blade much longer, and the performance is very consistent throughout its entire life. But notice how I said high quality Japanese steel, because not all Japanese steel is the same. And if you don't really want to worry about grades and quality and all that, just go to moshikoshears.com and pick anything. You'll be good, I promise. Next up, we have the tension. Now, this really matters a lot, and surprisingly, not everyone knows this. But if your shear is too loose, it's going to end up folding here. And if it's too tight, your hand is going to get fatigued significantly faster than if it was at the right tension. Now, to adjust your actual shear, depending on what brand and what model you're using, you would need a scissor key, which, if you can see this right here, is a little screw in the middle of the shear that holds everything together. Once you put the key in, you can turn it clockwise or counterclockwise to tighten and or loosen it. Or on some models, you might have a knob that you can just simply turn. You can hear it click, and depending on which way you turn it, again, it'll tighten and or loosen. Next up, we have the budget. Now, this should be pretty obvious. That's essentially the same exact shears that you would be getting from cosmetology school, aka low quality steel, like we just mentioned earlier. Once you get into the range of about 200 to 400, that's when you're really getting good quality for your money. We're talking about good quality steel. It's ergonomic. It has the correct tension knob. The edges retain longer, so you're not constantly in need of sharpening it over and over again. And it can easily last you a decade, aka everything from Moshiko Shears. And I should also note, depending on the budget and how much you actually put into your shear financially, all the features that we talked about today might not really be available. For example, if you're buying a $30 shear, it might not be offset. You might not be able to adjust the tension. It might just be set in stone from however it was made in the factory. And of course, the blade quality, it's not going to be there. It's just not. So as you can see, there's more to go into picking your first shear than just the color of it and how big it is. There's how it feels in your hand, the ergonomics of it, the blade length, the blade quality, of course. If you can even adjust the tension of it, which really matters. And when you pick the right one that fits all the check boxes to your preference and your needs, you're gonna get a tool that not only lasts you longer, but at the same time gives you better results, aka a better investment for you, and make your clients happier. And again, I kind of touched on it earlier, but if you don't really want to worry about all of this, you can easily just go to moshikoshears.com and you can really just pick anything on there and you'll end up being happy. Of course, you should still pick which one looks good to you and which one fits your need if you know. For example, the size, or if you want the handles to be offset, or if you want to swivel. We have all those options available at moshikoshears.com. And right now, instead of only picking one shear, you can get two for the price of one. When you buy any shear at $279, you get to pick a thinning shear and or a swivel for completely free while supplies last, because we've been getting a lot of orders for those recently and we're running out. Now, it's a spring set sale, but it's only the middle of the spring and we're almost out already. So it might not be there by the time summer comes. And that's really it. Hopefully you have more knowledge now on what it really takes to get your first shear, or just picking a shear in general that really fits your needs. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content on shear education, tutorials, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because we do have more videos coming out essentially weekly at this point. So again, if you have any questions, you can comment down below, reach out to us. If you're looking to get your own shears, go to moshikoshears.com. We appreciate you.